If you're having trouble staying alive and wielding the gauntlet, it is a huge responsibility after all. This video is for you. We will break down the in-depth mechanics of the character. There's a ton to pick at there, but for now, I will give the general advice of smash your abilities like you're playing Eddie from Tekken. Hope they chain together and you'll probably be okay, at least to start. The tip on top of all of them, of course, is to try to sneak in primary fire shots in between all of your abilities, and that's how you really increase your overall DPS. But today, we're not going to go into that too much because we really don't have to, because Doomfist has an insta-kill every 4 seconds. Maximizing his capabilities, of course, will be in playing him in the disciplined way that I'm going to talk about today, as well as really amping up his combos and really extending his possibilities. But for now, as you might be practicing the character to potentially be a Doomfist main and ranked when he goes into the competitive playlist, learning how to play him smart and disciplined will win you the footsie battle in many duels and situations in the way that you will just be rewarded with free kills because, of course, that rocket punch has a 4-second cooldown. The biggest tip I can give is understanding the win condition of the situation that you're in. In this opening of Gibraltar, I have a lot of ranged characters riding the cart. We have the objective. The enemy have to come fight us off the cart. There's no reason to play over-eager carry Doomfist diving their backline, hoping to put the game in my hands. Instead, a little bit of discipline here in an off angle, staying safe, awaiting for the cart contest to come in, allows for easy enforcer cleanup. Remember, I've said that word over and over again. This is what I mean. Doomfist waiting in the wings, allowing for the play to develop in front of him, and making it impossible to really aggress onto those key diveable targets. You got McCree and Widowmaker riding the cart. Boy, would those dive-happy characters love to go kill them for free. Well, Doomfist says no and allows them to do their job while we're still doing ours. This style of discipline, I think, is one of the areas where the Overwatch community could see a big improvement. Far too often do you see Winstons that just press shift every time it's off cooldown and have no restraint whatsoever. Doomfist is the same exact way. If he commits into a fight that he doesn't need to be in, he's going to die for free. In fact, in many ways, Doomfist is the advanced DPS version of Winston, where he's very physical, movement-based, close range, sick at dueling. In many ways, he's just the DPS version of Winston. And you're going to want to take a lot of the advice that I give in a disciplined Winston counter-initiation style or a Lurk and Pounce Reaper style to Doomfist, and when you apply that to the character, you'll start to realize that you just win fights for free, and you don't even have to go into the next step of really mastering what he can do offensively when his zoning protection play style is just so effective that if the enemy walk into it, you just win instantly. Let's go over a couple more clips of me employing this reserved play style that I think is so strong for Doomfist. As we come out from Eichenwald here, I peek the front door, notice that they have a Symmetra. So my plan anyway is to set up on the far right side. Of course, close corridors is what you want to look for with Doomfist. Moseying on about, and what do I catch? The enemy Doomfist. I land my abilities a little bit better than he does, but very important now that you realize they have a sim, okay? I don't want to be the tip of the spear of this fight. I have a Winston. I want him to clear out the turrets for me, and maybe to either get a call or get some movement from my team so that we know where we need to be. Navigating through the chaos of the fight, I want to be sure to just avoid damage. As you play better and better players who understand how easy Doomfist is to counter, when you're in these situations, you have to be in and out in an instant. And if you haven't found value within the first second of your contact, a lot of times you're just going to die. So oftentimes, having the restraint to not over-aggress, especially when the enemy retreat away from you, means that you're just giving yourself another opportunity to try to find another rocket punch. In this way, when you use both of Doomfist's other abilities, and it feels like the fight stalls out and you're safe, well, enjoy that safety, because if you just overly aggress with Rocket Punch directly into the fight again, those abilities won't be back soon enough. And that's sort of the flow and tempo that you're going to have to learn with Doomfist, that, yes, Rocket Punch comes back every 4 seconds, but Slam and Uppercut are equally as important to his kit, which means that a lot of the times you'll be in this somewhat awkward tempo of spamming everything and having little to do. And especially if you use your weapon frivolously, you'll find these awkward sections of time where you literally don't have an ability left. So it's important to make sure that each one is used methodically to either get you in a place where you want to be, burst down a target that you want to be fighting, or setting yourself up for the next rocket punch that you're going to do. Making my way on the outside of Li Zhang for a retake. We're actually down a man right now, but hey, it's quick play. My McCree goes down, I heal up to full, and I let the play develop in front of me. Now, many a Doomfist, when charging up his charge shot, is just gonna let that thing loose. It's just gonna fly into the point, not knowing what he's going to find when he gets there, and dies. I see it happen over and over again. Remember, the enemy can hear that charge punch from a mile away. If they don't peek it and you don't have the certainty that you're going to get value out of it, don't just blindly charge into battle when you don't need to. A little bit of restraint and canceling that rocket punch when you're in a safe position is really important. And I think some players don't even know how to do it, and you just primary fire while you're charging up the rocket punch, and you put it back in your pocket. Remember, it's on a really short cooldown, so there's not really a waste or anything to fear if you go for the charge and don't end up committing to it. Because it's really important as Doomfist that you don't get yourself in over your head too quickly without getting value, and then you're just going to end up feeding. A little bit of restraint to set up the fight to get it where I want it, rather than forcing the issue too early in a way that oftentimes is going to cause you to die, is the difference between getting tons of Doomfist value, or at least a guaranteed amount of Doomfist value, and essentially feeding with the character. Last clip I'm going to break down is at the end of Dorado. We all know how difficult these points can be to close out, seeing as the enemy's spawn is right next to everything. When the Genji Blade comes out, we do peel back for it, but anytime there's a Genji Blade around, even if it has nano boost, you can feel pretty confident in lining up that charge shot for him, but Zenyatta's ult does save him. He eventually kills me, but we trade him out, and then I get rezzed. Coming in on the re-engage now, we see an example of me going for the charge shot and then the enemy making a mistake of allowing the peek to be there. That's the difference. If I don't get anybody to lure into my rocket punch, I just cancel it there, but since the Genji peeks, well, he dies for free, and I don't overstay my welcome. Remember, rocket punch is the most lethal ability you have, and there's no reason to just stay fighting their entire team once you go in and bully a character using your insta-kill. You're not gonna have a whole lot of damage otherwise without it, so jumping out there and allowing them to fight back into me will buy time for that rocket punch cooldown to come back so that when they peek again into the cart, I'm gonna have it again. Now, a more advanced take on this type of engagement might be being so sick with his abilities that you land tons of hits on your enemy and build up shields so that you're so tanky with all the HP you're gaining that you might be okay, but I don't think that's the way Doomfist will ever be played because he's so easy to focus when he's in on the enemy team. It's not like Tracer where she's this small pixel, basically Odd Job from GoldenEye. Impossible to hit, right? Doomfist is one of the easiest characters in the game to hit. So having the game sense and knowing that there's too many enemies for you to fight, or you don't have the proper cooldowns to fight in the scenario you're in, or you don't like the distance of the engagement, really being careful to keep putting Doomfist where he's strong and keeping him there, especially when that means you're controlling the objective when doing so, means that the enemy will always have to fight into you, which is exactly what we want, because we'll have a charged Doomfist punch waiting for them. If you found this video useful, please let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe because we upload each and every day, so you're gonna wanna hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description, you can check out our Twitter and our Discord server where you can interact with our community and find teammates to pair up with. You can find the Doomfist main of your dreams. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.